The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting group. Get involved with Access Fort Wayne and make your own television programming. Call 421-1250 to find out more.
It's like I'm living for the first time, finally living for the first time. It's like I'm living for the first time, finally living for the first time. It's like I'm living for the first time, finally living for the first time. It's like I'm living for the first time, finally living for the first time. It's like I'm living for the first time, finally living for the first time. It's like I'm living for the first time, finally living for the first time. This is what you do, this is what you do. You make me come alive. This is what you do, this is what you do. You make me come alive. This is what you do, this is what you do. You make me come alive. This is what you do, this is what you do. You make me come alive. You make me come
So we have arrived to Miller Ferry. This building right here to my left, your right, there are
Here, and we'll go look at the lighthouse. Now we don't have to worry about being loud because the lighthouse keeper moved out in 1958. You understand, normally he'd be sleeping right now because he was up all night tending the light.
Hey, look, somebody got a car.
Well, you guys came over on the Miller Ferry. That was started out as a rowboat service. And the Miller has the flat top auto passenger ferry. We have another ferry that services the island, the Jet Express. Jet Express is a catamaran with jet engines, that is water jet engines. And it goes about 40 miles an hour, which is fast for a boat. The Miller boat line started in 1895. And they got the ironclad bottoms on the rowboats so that in the wintertime they could drag them up on the ice and drag them across the ice when they had to bring old newspapers or the mail or sometimes the doctor over. It took 4 or 5 good sturdy men to achieve that. Here's the old lighthouse, and you really can't see the tower of it because it's behind this big tree here. But I will assure you it is there. But the lamp from inside and the lenses for the lamp called the Fresnel lamp, they are in the museum downtown. Keep those arms in, those trees aren't trimmed very good over there. I don't see anybody out here to meet us. That's not unusual. What are you guys going over to Stone Lab, maybe? That's where we're at right here.
Which is very thin, so this teeny tiny mesh is what's going to collect all of it. So it cycles into the bottom and it concentrates it. We'll show you guys in a second. And the zooplankton, which is a little larger, it eats the phytoplankton, gets collected into this net. So it's a little larger mesh than our phytoplankton net, and that's so it can get that phytoplankton out of there. But you're probably wondering, where the heck can we find these things? Because it's not throughout all the lakes. So if you were to look at Lake Superior, because Lake Superior is so deep, the photic zone doesn't go as far. But in Lake Erie, this photic zone that I'm talking about is the layer that sun goes through the water. And so with that sunlight, photosynthesis can happen with our plants, with our phytoplankton, all that fun. So to measure that, we use this thing called a Secchi disc. This Secchi disc has a black and white kind of checker pattern, so you can see the sunlight. And what we'll do is we'll take it into the water, we'll take it to where we can't see it, and measure it and multiply it by 3 to find the photic zone that's here. So we don't see all the light, that's why we multiply by 3. So Shane and I are going to take samples. You can get the zooplankton, and we'll get some phytoplankton for you to see. So do you folks have any questions so far? So for our science cruises, yes. And then for our research lab, they do, but they have a lot more locations to do that. And they also work with charter captains to be able to reach even more places. So that's where...
What makes you choose where you take readings at?
So our locations here for our students, we have about 5, and they are in the lee of the islands. So we pick day to day based on the weather. So this is calmer here for you. So you're welcome. If a couple of our other sites are over on the other side of the island, and right now they're rolling 2 and 3 foot waves, so we don't like to expose kids to that. We do have numerous other sites throughout the lake. Those are all located by Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and then you go to Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Pennsylvania. And those sites are all done by various organizations throughout the lake.
Do they do this up in Canada too?
They do some forms of it, and we collaborate all of this information together. Absolutely. Yeah, our Canadian border is really only about 3 miles that way. We can always change the flag out and put the fire flag up, go and bait it.
So are these tours mainly just set up when they come through the groups? I know when we conduct it individually, people get into these groups.
It's usually organized school groups.
So if you're out here on your own, you probably can't get into it. Okay. Thank you.
So discovery-wise, I can't really answer that so much, but what we do utilize this information for, this all goes back to the Department of Natural Resources, and this in part is used, they're mostly interested in our fish collections. So what they're looking for is young of the year and adult fish, and it is used in coordination with other collections, as well as they do interviews with fishermen as they come out of the lake to help look at our numbers to see how well, particularly the walleye and perch are doing here, and then catch limits are based on some of those numbers. So you'll see from year to year some of the catch limits change, and that is all in regards to some of our collections here. Other scientists have studied why some of the numbers change, and that goes to some of the algae content, those kind of things. I don't know any specifics of those papers.
Do they consider the lakes pretty healthy?
Right now, yeah, they are fairly healthy. When we do have the harmful algal blooms, obviously, you know, that dips a little bit. But for the most part, the lake is some of the healthiest that it has been in a long time. I used to boat up here in the 60s with my parents, and the harmful algal blooms were actually worse back then. However, the driver of the harmful algal blooms back then were sewage overflows from major cities. Today, it's a lot of farm field runoff and those kind of things that go into. So, did you show the slide with the watersheds?
Very little bit.
Okay. So our watershed here on Lake Erie goes almost down to Delaware, right? So any water that falls from rain, any streams or rivers, anything like that, that water eventually is going to make it to here. So we're not just worried about the water, you know, right along the shorelines here, but that watershed is water coming in from a long way away. So, you know, farm fields all the way down there can affect us all the way up here. And when I say farm fields, it can be agriculture, you know, plants, or you know, cows, anything like that. Our biggest contributors are actually over towards Maumee Bay, over to the northeast.
I was going to say, our water is what way the area comes.
Yeah.
What, are you saying Delaware County, Indiana?
No, Ohio.
Ohio.
Mostly from Adams County.
Okay.
In the St. Mary's.
That's over by, yeah, Lima and over in there, right?
Well, at the west of that. West.
Indiana.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah, so you're way on over there. Yeah. So, but as far as the papers and discoveries, we haven't done a lot of that kind of research, but we contribute that data for that research.
So does Ohio State use a lot of your information for their?
Yeah, down in Columbus, but I don't have access. Well, I don't particularly look at any of that stuff, to be honest with you. All right, so the last thing that we do, and again, this normally is a 2-hour-long thing for our kids, right? So we were kind of condensing this in for you folks. The last thing that we do is a trawl. So the way this works, that net, the lines, the boards, all of the stuff goes off the back of the boat and trails behind the boat almost the length of a football field. So it goes pretty far back there. Now, we don't see a ton of boats out here today moving around. Some of the boats around here go 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, even faster. So when I've got a football field's worth of line and net back there, what I don't want is one of those 50 mile an hour boats to come cut across my line. So I fly this. This is the international symbol. Lets all other boaters know that we are trawling. Here's the problem here on Lake Erie. 99.9% of all the other boaters have absolutely no idea what this thing means.
I would agree with that.
And we giggle about that, but here's the deal. Here on Lake Erie, this is not a commercial fisheries operation. It is done strictly for education and research. So besides the Departments of Natural Resources, we are one of only about 5 organizations on the Americas side of Lake Erie that has the permits to allow us to do it. So not a lot of people get to see it. So it's really cool that the kids get to see it. It's really cool that you guys get to see it. It is kind of rare up here. How do you guys like shrimp? There's some hands, right? So a process very similar to this down in the Gulf, very common. That's how they get your shrimp. Those are mid-water trawls. This particular trawl is a bottom trawl. So when this all goes out, it goes down to the bottom of the lake. You see those boards on either side? Those boards go down there, they act like skis. If any of you have skied before, water ski, snow ski, maybe rollerblade or roller skate, if you have those skis or skates on your feet, and I hold my feet like this and I move forward, what's my legs gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna do the splits, right? Well, that's what those are doing down there. They're kind of doing the splits, so they pop out as I tow it across the bottom of the lake. And they're connected to that net, and that's what pops that net open side to side. This particular net's only about 16 feet across. It's about the width of the boat. The mouth of that net, it's open, and across the top, the headline, it's got corks on it, holds that mouth open about 3 feet up off of the bottom. The bottom of it's got a chain that holds it down, so 16 feet across, 3 feet up, 2.5 miles an hour across the bottom of the lake. Any fish that get in front of that open mouth, they get swept to the back of that net. It's also open, it's called the cod end, but we tie it off, and that's where the fish will accumulate. You just saw Jack put a bunch of water in this bucket. When we pull that all back in, she'll untie that cod end, and we'll dump those fish in there, and the kids get really excited about this. This is where they get to help identify and even handle the fish, and you guys are welcome to do that too as well. So, a couple of things. Last but not least, who's captain of the boat? Yeah. Who makes all the rules on the boat? I do. So here's rule number 1. When we pull that net in, if there is 100 pounds of fish in that net, I am the captain. I made that happen. That was all me. If we pull that net in and there is no fish in there, it's Jack's fault. Not really. And this is the thing that we want to talk to the kids about too. Science isn't about getting what we want. We want 100 pounds of fish. That'd be awesome, right? But what we want is the facts. We pull that thing in. The fact is, if there's 100 pounds of fish, that's what we get to study. But guess what? If there's 0 pounds of fish, that's still data, and that's a fact, and that's what we get to study. How come there's only 0 pounds of fish in that net? Was it foul, or was it because there's just no fish here for whatever reason, low oxygen, whatever?
The net broke.
Or the net broke, yeah. And it happens. So, you know, that's part of science, and that's what we are trying to get across to these kids. So one other thing in housekeeping here, safety. I'm having these folks do all of this work for you today. Normally we even let the 5th graders do it, but for expeditiousness here today, my 2 field station associates are going to be doing this work for you. But while they are doing it, I need you guys to be this side of those stanchions, please. And I need to be able to see what's going on back here. So I need that doorway open. You cannot stand in that doorway. Do not block my view. If you do, you will hear my voice come booming out of that cabin, yelling at you to move. And don't make me yell, it's not pleasant. So, with all of that said, anybody have any questions about anything Jack talked about, anything I talked about? You know there's a test at the end of the day, right? You got to get 100 on the test. Excellent, I like that enthusiasm. All right, well, since you don't have to pick any volunteers for this process, you guys ready? Yeah? Yeah. All right, let's go see if we can catch some fish. Woo! All right, we'll put this up that nobody knows what it means. We'll get things fired up. On the way back, Jack will be kind of explaining what we caught. Hopefully we catch. But once we get around that corner over there, it is going to get kind of rocky. So just be aware that, you know, between the rocking of the boat and the splashing, if you are standing, you may want to take note of where we are and sit down, because I don't want anybody falling down. All right.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Now listen up, kids. I got a story I want to tell you.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Long about a Saturday dancing shoes on. Yeah, I was a rolling and a strolling, feeling with the feeling, moving and a grooving, splashing and a splashing. Hey, yeah. Yes, I was splashing and a splashing,
Splishing and a splashing,
I was rolling and a strolling,
rolling and a
I
strolling,
was moving and a grooving.
moving and a grooving,
You was reeling with the feeling,
feeling with the feeling,
rolling and a strolling, moving, grooving, splish splash, splish splash, rolling and a strolling, moving with the grooving, splish splash, splish splash, rolling and a strolling, moving with the grooving, splish splash.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing like California. You'd see him wearing the baggies, Warachi sandals too, bushy, bushy blonde hairdos, surfing USA. You'll catch him surfing at downtown, Ventura County and Lime, Santa Cruz and Trestle, Australia's Narrow Beach, all over Manhattan, and down Doheny Way. Everybody's on surfing, surfing USA. We'll all be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboards, we can't wait for June. We'll all be gone for the summer, we're on safari to stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing, surfing USA. At Agornees and Swamp, Pacific Palisades, San Onofre and Sunset, Redondo Beach, LA, all over La Jolla and Waimea Bay. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. At Agornees and Swamp, Pacific Palisades, San Onofre and Sunset, Redondo Beach, LA, all over La Jolla and Waimea Bay. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Wake up everybody, yeah, yeah, yeah. We are all VIP, we are all VIP. With some hard work, good vibes and community. picture the come and go. Make this a place we can all call home. Sometimes we all need a little kindness, and our community will help us find it. Wake up everybody, yeah, yeah, yeah. We are all VIP, we are all VIP. With some hard work, good vibes and community. U-N-I-T-Y and unity. Wake up everybody, yeah, yeah, yeah. We are all VIP, we are all VIP. With some hard work, good vibes and community. U-N-I-T-Y and unity. Wake up everybody, we are all VIP, we are all VIP. We are all hard work, good vibes and community. Yeah, yeah. U-N-I-T-Y and unity.
Years ago, they overfished Lake Erie so much and pollution that they thought maybe the fish would forget how to have babies. So they started a fish hatchery here on Foot Bay. These waters are the nursery of Lake Erie. Shallow waters here. And here's something interesting. This is where they do collections of water sampling, big samples. That island out there is called Rattlesnake Island. No rattlesnakes, just millionaires. Very exclusive private club. This building on the left is interesting. It's an old sailmaker's loft. The sailmaker would lay out the sailcloth upstairs in one big room that was built up there, and he'd live in the downstairs. He'd cut it into patterns and sew it together. This area is also called the Actors Colony. Years ago, an Oscar-nominated actress, Anne Harding, lived here in the suburbs. These nice cool breezes and nice shade under the canopy of the trees. Hollywood back in those days was hot. It's in the desert.
I know it's
Alright, keep those arms in. I gotta do a little bit of off-road in here to make that turn. We're losing our staff here on the island. They're slowly being rid away by college and going back to their countries. We have a lot of foreign kids study here and work here. So just remember, we're all tipped workers. So give till it hurts. There's that beautiful view of Paris Monument. If you've got your camera handy.
Maybe I want to post some more of my pictures.
Next big event here on the island is, of course, Labor Day. is that weekend is about a 3-day weekend, so it's pretty normal. But the following weekend is Bronco weekend. That's the 5th of, it starts the 5th and 6th of September. We have Jeep weekend in August, where we have hundreds of Jeep cars here. And in September, we have Broncos. They couldn't be left out, so let's see OJ's Bronco here for it. There's a beautiful grape farm, the Duff Farm right there. Classic VW microbus there.
Oh, wow.
Getting a wash. Somebody's up on the roof at the Yacht Club with they're spelunking. They're pretending they're a mountain climber. Now the restrooms in your inside and on the right.
The Upper Wabash, and we have the Western Lake Erie Basin. So a great portion of our county feeds to the Western Lake Erie Basin. So through the Soil and Water Conservation District and through the Maumee Watershed Alliance, we're working with producers and landowners to strategically manage the nutrients that they're putting on the ground and that are getting into our streams, lakes, and rivers. So if you have any questions about the Maumee Watershed Alliance, we do have a website. It's MaumeeWatershedAlliance.org. We put on events throughout the year, a lot of education and outreach. Also, we do the same thing through Soil and Water, so AdamsCountySoilandWater.com. We have an events page, so you can see more of what we're doing there. We do have some upcoming events. I'm really excited to introduce you to Dr. Alford today, and I had the pleasure of listening to him talk about the state of our lake over the past 5 or 6 years. Always a very interesting presentation, so thank you for being here today. If you need anything, just let me know, guys.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. Feel free to move up to these tables up closer if you have a hard time seeing the screen or hearing me. I won't bite, I promise. It's too hard anyway. So I'm just going to talk to you about some of the work that we're doing over here in Stone Lab right across the way over here on Gibraltar Island, and some of our facilities over here to address the harmful algal bloom issue. That's one of our primary research interests in Lake Erie is to see what we can do about the harmful algae and the toxins that are produced by the harmful algae here in the lake. But before we get into the bad part of the algae, it's important that we understand that most algae that you come in contact or see every day are not bad for lakes.
All algae are plant-like organisms. They photosynthesize just like corn crops do, or your flowers in your flower bed. And even 50% of the Earth's oxygen is produced by algae. Now, most of that is produced by algae in the ocean. But what I want you to consider from that is that every other breath you take, that is because of algae producing that oxygen for you. So that's a pretty significant part of our lives, and a pretty significant role that algae play in our daily lives. They are also the base of our food webs, both in the ocean and in the Great Lakes like Lake Erie. The good algae are really great for tiny little animals called zooplankton. Zooplankton float around the lake. They're microscopic. You got to see them with a microscope to be able to see them. But those zooplankton, they feed on the phytoplankton that are growing in the lake, including all the green algae that we're talking about right now. And were it not for that green algae, the zooplankton couldn't grow. And if the zooplankton couldn't grow, the little baby fish couldn't grow, because the baby fish are eating the zooplankton. And if the baby fish can't grow, the bigger fish like the walleye and bass we like to catch won't grow either. So we call this the walleye capital of the world, right up here off of Put-in-Bay here in Lake Erie, and that is in large part due to the good algae that's out in Lake Erie. Not all algae are the same, so there's many different hundreds of species of algae in lakes. And as we go throughout the year, from winter, spring, summer, and fall, the algae composition in Lake Erie changes over time. So we don't have all the bad algae just in the lake all the time taking over everything. We have really good species of algae. There's a group called diatoms that are really prevalent in the winter and spring. They're really prevalent under lake ice. We are worried about them perhaps not disappearing, but reducing in abundance with lack of ice cover these days. But then we get into some other types of green algae in the spring and early summer. And right about now, this time of year, August and September, that's when we really have a lot of our cyanobacteria, smooth green algae that we're dealing with. You may have heard of microcystis, which is one of the toxic types of algae. So those types of algae like it really hot and a lot of light. And this is the time of year where those types of algae take over. So right now you may see, if you were to look on the docks around the lake here, and if you see little clusters, little tiny green balls, that's microcystis algae. Okay, that's the stuff that produces the microcystin toxin. And that will subside here in October as we get cooler and the lake starts to churn up a little bit. And then they'll senesce and come back again in July, August of next year. But regardless of what type of algae is in the lake at any given time of year, all algae need sunlight to photosynthesize, just like your crops. They need fertilizers in the form of phosphorus, nitrogen, and other micronutrients. And they need carbon dioxide, except instead of getting their carbon dioxide directly from the atmosphere, they get it from the water itself. So the algae in the lake functionally do the same thing as your crops and your flowers do on the landscape. It's just that they're permanently in water.
Zip around the downtown area so you can familiarize yourself with all the watering holes. Now, as a kid over here, I know there was only about 6 bars downtown. This was the hardware store on the right. And of course, the Billboard Saloon, the world's longest bar, where you and over 100 friends could sit.
Put your hand
elbow
like
to elbow.
Like that.
At the world's longest
There's some
bar.
pictures on my phone.
Hold it up. Get some more.
Yeah.
See there.
Yeah, you can see the. Is it taking?
Jose Rivera's effigy is in the park there on the left. What we got in the back side, we'll see the front in a minute.
He's talking.
Jose was the founder of Put-in-Bay. T-shirts and frosty pizza. Ice cold beer and
Why over here? He's talking about
hot, bubbling hot
over
pizza
here.
at Frosty Bar. Pasquale serves breakfast and lunch, and sometimes Italian food. There it is, the Roundhouse Bar, next to the chicken patio. And behind that, the Park Hotel. All these are the oldest buildings still in
How does it take a picture
retail
by
use
itself?
on the
It's
island.
doing video, not pictures. It's doing video.
There's
So
t-shirts,
it's
more
moving video.
t-shirts. There's the restrooms in the park. We get down here.
That's okay, I don't need one.
And this was formerly where the Crescent Hotel was. It's going to be, I think, our 11th, if it ever gets finished, our 11th resort hotel. You like Mackinac Island style fudge? Here at the candy bar, and in the back they have hard packed ice cream. The Alan Herschel carousel, hand carved from 1917.
Wow.
The carriage house has unique and unusual gifts. Don't forget, sweetest day is coming. Okay, we saw this from the other side, but this is where the tour train alights.
Hi, Seagull. Wow.
Island, and this is East Point. A boat got stuck in a sandbar going through here, and that was a big project. The Good Time out of Sandusky, with a bunch of partiers on board. Would anybody like to get out and take a look around here?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, I want to stop like right about here. Would you guys like to get out and check out the water here?
No, we have the same island we ride a little bit. We are? Boat
I don't know what you said.
Did we go on, did the boat take us to somewhere different?
No, I just took us to the island here.
Did it take us to different?
Want to haul it for a little bit?
Yeah.
So,
I can
just my personal feeling about it. But yeah, this was all grapes at one time. Oh well.
There's some video of that.
There goes one.
There you go.
I went over there to behind the monument. That's Kelly's Island. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Kelly's Island. That's Marblehead over there. That's the mainland. That's Kelly's over there to the left.
Dot side dips. In the store, but that's okay, phone. Tonight too, huh? No, I had a friend that picks me up. Look at that. There's a Seahawk right there. Best to you. The Seahawk's like, bye-bye. Do you want to hold the camera for the set towards me? I would do an intro. Towards me.
What's in?
Here is leaving Putnam Bay here. This was really neat. Stay tuned for more. So I can get it.
Travel on, there's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore, where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate to break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today. Yeah. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. If you're going my way,
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling, and the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people. By the relief office, I've seen my people. As they stood there hungry, I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land